Good evening, everyone. I'm Zen Master Sebastian Rizzon, founder of the Zen Art Center and the Mind Light Way School of Zen. I give these talks on the third Thursday of every month from 7 to 8, and I also do a guided meditation on the first Thursday of every month at the same time. And you can find these on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, at the Zen Art Center YouTube channel. So Zen is a practice which points us to understand our mind through direct experience. But what is the mind? This is a koan I give to all of my students. A koan is a question or a statement that requires you to go beyond any intellectual or conceptual understanding. When we say the word mind, what are we referring to? I'd like you all to close your eyes for a moment. I want you to imagine yourself floating effortlessly in a boundless space that's completely dark and silent. You can't see or hear anything. You can't smell, taste, or feel anything in your surrounding environment. There's absolutely nothing stimulating any of your senses. Now imagine that you have complete amnesia. You have no memories of anything and no sense of time passing. You have no reason to feel sadness, happiness, anxiety, stress, or fear. You have no idea who you are, where you are, or how you got to where you are. You have no language to describe anything, and there's nothing to do. You sense nothing, and you have no idea about anything that ever existed. Yet you're aware and having an experience. This is pure awareness. It is the fundamental, untainted experience of being. This is the experience of the boundless mind that is the foundation of your being. But what exactly is it? We all share this fundamental awareness, but how can you understand what it is? You can open your eyes now. My words are trying to guide you to the experience of pure awareness, but ultimately they can't explain what it is. The moment you try to explain it, you've tainted the experience. It's beyond words. It can only be experienced. Zen teaches, what is this? When you meditate on a critical phrase, don't try to answer the question. Just focus on the question until your mind breaks free and you experience the unfettered mind. With that said, let's move into the meditation portion of class. But before, let's start with a breathing technique that will help you prepare your body for meditation. Start by breathing a little bit slower and a little bit deeper than you usually do. Visualize your heart in the center of your chest as you breathe. As you listen to me, I want you to continue to breathe a little bit slower and a little bit deeper. Feel your breath coming in through your nose and mouth, collecting all of the energy from your brain and moving it from your head into your heart. Imagine now that you're breathing with your heart. The purpose is to try to align our mind, heart, and body. You can also place your hand on your heart and close your eyes if you'd like. Keep breathing a little bit slower and deeper as I talk. This is a technique you can use to relax or reset yourself whenever you feel nervous or anxious, or whenever you feel like you need to switch gears from different activities you're doing throughout the day. You can use it when you wake up, before you enter a stressful meeting, before you go to sleep, or before you meditate. Let's just take a few more moments and take some slow and deep breaths. Tonight, as usual, we'll be doing a mantra meditation. We'll turn around in our places and we'll sit with our legs crossed. Try to keep your neck and back straight, and if your eyes were open, they'd be looking at the floor at a 45-degree angle, but we'll be meditating with our eyes closed. I would like you to have your hands, right hand, left hand touching your thumbs and centered in your lap. If you get uncomfortable during the meditation, you can stretch or stand up. Just try to be quiet and respectful of everyone else meditating around you. You can wait. I'll have us stand up together. In traditional Zen meditation, a mantra is used to clear the mind. The mantra is a focal point of meditation, usually a word or a phrase that's repeated within your mind. If you try not to think, thoughts will inevitably come into your mind. And by focusing on the mantra, you can use it to push out all of the other thoughts. When you meditate, try to let go of your feelings, opinions, and desire. Let go of your sense of self and try to experience pure awareness. As you meditate, only concentrate on your mantra. If any thought comes into your mind, let it pass and return to focusing on your mantra. You can use anything as a mantra during meditation. It could be as simple as counting your breaths. Or you could use a critical phrase like, "Who am I?" or "What is this?" However, I find it's often easier for people to get started by clearing their mind by using a mantra like Koan Seum Bosal. If you're new to meditation and you need a mantra, I suggest using the mantra Koan Seum Bosal. Koan Seum Bosal is the name of the bodhisattva of love and compassion in Korean Zen. A bodhisattva is an enlightened teacher that has dedicated their life to helping others. Koan Seum Bosal is often depicted with thousands of eyes and hands and is said to be able to see the suffering of everyone and help those who call out her name. Using this mantra will bring compassionate energy to you while you're meditating. Drawing this compassionate energy into your mind will help you relax and clear your mind while you meditate. So now let's turn around in our places and we'll meditate together for about 20 minutes or so. Who are you? What makes you what you are? What is our reality made of? If you want to understand the nature of reality, you need to peel back all of the layers to find out what remains. So let's peel back some of those layers and explore what constitutes our physical reality. In last month's Dharma Talk, I talked about how everything in the universe is made of energy. Everything we perceive as physical is composed of molecules and atoms. Every part of an atom is composed of particles. Particles are nothing more than quantified forms of energy. Therefore, everything in the universe is fundamentally made of energy. And all energy behaves as waves. Every time you think and every time you perceive something, it requires energy from your body, which you get from consuming food. Every time you take an action, you use the energy of your body to assert physical forces on your environment. Everything in the universe, including you, is composed of energy. Also, everything you do or think constitutes a transfer of energy between you and the environment. This means that everything that happens in nature is just an interaction between waves of energy. Our entire universe, everything, is made up of waves of energy that is constantly colliding. They're constantly colliding with each other. When multiple waves of energy collide, they interact in different ways. Sometimes they amplify each other. Sometimes they cancel each other out. Sometimes, when their frequencies are synchronized, they create a resonating harmony. When they're out of phase, they create an unpleasant dissonance. At this point, you might be thinking, what does this have to do with me? How does this affect my life? And what should I do with this information? If you pay attention, you can tell when your thoughts and actions create feelings of harmony or dissonance within your body. If you keep track of how your thoughts and actions affect the way you feel, you'll notice a correlation. You'll discover that certain thoughts and actions make you feel inner peace and harmony, while others will cause you to suffer. Over time, you'll start to notice that when your thoughts are rooted in love and compassion, you experience harmony. When your thoughts are rooted in your ego and your actions are completely selfish, it creates feelings of dissonance and suffering. But you don't have to take my word for it. Try it out for yourself and see what you find out. Even armed with this knowledge, it can still be difficult to navigate the world and maintain harmony. The waves of energy within the universe are always shifting, and it can be hard to stay in tune. Sometimes it's hard to discern what's really helping someone or what is the best way to live in harmony with your environment. Sometimes you can create huge waves of momentum in your life which ripple throughout the world. But nothing lasts forever. And eventually, all of the waves you create will come crashing down or dissipate. At times, your own energy might be calm. However, the ocean of energy that composes our universe is filled with all types of violent waves moving around in all different directions. So how can you possibly navigate this? In order to stay afloat amongst the waves, you need to learn how to keep your mind still and focused in each moment. Complete awareness requires your complete concentration in each moment. If you become too distracted by your thoughts and memories, you may lose sight of what's actually happening. It's okay to pay attention to them, but don't be attached to them when they're no longer relevant. When you dwell too much on thoughts of the future or memories of the past, it's easy to lose sight of the reality that's unfolding before your eyes. So, how do you keep your mind still and focused in each moment? It might sound simple, but it's not always easy to do. For most people, it requires practice. In Zen, we practice focusing our mind on the moment through sitting and moving meditation. When I say meditation, I simply mean the practice of focusing your mind on the moment in order to experience pure awareness. While sitting in meditation, you can do this by focusing your mind on a mantra or your breath, as we practiced at the beginning of this class. When you're moving around throughout the day, try to stay focused on whatever you're doing as if it's your mantra. If you can stay focused on each moment without letting your mind wander, this will turn everything you do into a form of meditation. This type of focus on your actions is what I call moving meditation. There are various ways you can practice this type of moving meditation. I recommend starting with some sort of activity you enjoy doing. One that typically helps you clear your mind and stay focused. Sometimes it's easiest to start with a physical activity that requires your focus in order for you to be able to do it. Something like riding a bike or doing yoga or lifting weights. It could also be an art form like dancing or drawing, writing, or playing a musical instrument. These types of activities help you reach a flow state when you become so focused on your actions that they flow through you without any thinking. When you reach this level of focus, your actions become a mantra and your movements are a meditation. If you keep practicing sitting and moving in meditation like this, you can eventually learn to turn everything you do into a meditation. You can be meditating while eating, doing your dishes, cleaning your room, or working at your job. This approach to life will help keep your mind clear in every moment, which will help you make better decisions. This level of focus will also make you better at everything you're trying to do. In my experience, the most important aspect of getting better at anything is consistency. Try to practice some form of sitting and moving meditation every single day, even if it's just for 1 minute. If 1 minute's too easy, do 5 minutes. You can always expand how much you practice, but always try to do at least 1 minute a day. Think of your mind like a knife. If you sharpen it every day, it'll always be ready to cut through whatever's in front of you. However, if you use it every day and you don't sharpen it, it'll become dull and it won't work as well. A little bit of consistent practice every day will develop these meditation techniques into useful tools that you can use anytime to calm and relax yourself, no matter what's going on around you. Meditation can be highly useful when you're emotional, stressed out, sad, or anxious. But in these situations, it's really most effective if you've been practicing these techniques for a while and you've learned to trust them. If you think about it like swimming, you really need to be a good swimmer before you're ready to swim in the rough waves of the ocean. When your mind is clear, you can think clearly and make better decisions about what to do in each moment. Then you can feel the rhythm of the waves surrounding you and make sure you're in tune with their frequency. If you keep moving through your life like this, you can attain a state of mind that is completely clear, like I described in the beginning of class. Completely unhindered, pure awareness. When you experience pure awareness, you'll no longer be attached to your thoughts and memories in a way that distorts the present moment. When you reach this point, you'll no longer be attached to the ideas of space, time, or suffering. You'll recognize that those are just artifacts of your thoughts. When there's no thinking, there's no idea of you that separates you from everything else in the universe. At that point, you'll realize there's only one mind in this moment experiencing pure awareness. So keep going and practice clearing your mind a little bit each day until everything you do becomes a meditation. When you reach the point where you experience complete, untainted awareness, you'll recognize that the source of all the waves in this universe is the mind. Then you'll understand how to use your body as an instrument for harmony in the world. I wish you all 10,000 ways of good luck on this journey. Thank you for coming tonight. And I usually do a question and answer after my talk, so I'm happy to answer any type of questions you have here regarding anything I said, or the mind, or meditation, practical application of this stuff in your life, things like that. Feel free to ask or think about it if you want to ask a question. I'm happy to address anything that's on your mind. Anything tonight? Go ahead.
So the feeling of harmony that you talked about, feeling that a thought or an action is creating harmony versus disharmony. When is it that the heart like tighten, how I feel it in my heart, like my heart tighten and then I know like that's not something I want to do, or that's not right, or something is there that's not aligned, and then when I feel that my heart is just like breathing, then I feel like that's where I should be going. Is that like the feeling that you're talking about?
Yeah, I think that's a good way of saying it. What is the feeling of harmony? It's definitely an internal feeling. Is like, do you feel positive about the direction you're going? Do things feel like they're flowing in synchronicity with the things around you? Or does it feel like everything you do is a challenge and it's frustrating and things are never going the way you want them to go? That's a sign of the dissonance and disharmony versus the harmony where the things seem to be lining up in a way. When you're focused, you can understand like what's the correct actions without your opinion saying, I want it to go this way. When you just listen to, when your mind is clear, then you can kind of understand what your heart is telling you to do and go in that direction and very clearly see what's going on around you and what a proper thing to do in each moment is.
So are the signs outside or internal to know whether we are living in harmony or not?
They're internal. But the things that are going on outside of your body are affecting the way you feel internally too. So it's a combination. There's no, everything has to sync up for it. It has to be internal and syncing on the outside. As I said, things out in the world can be out of your control, and there's can be horrible things going on around the world, but how are you carrying yourself through those moments despite all of that happening? Are you moving through even the difficult situations in a harmonious way? Or are you creating more suffering and making the situation worse for yourself and other people around you? It's not really a formula other than understanding what your actions do and what the results are. And the best way to navigate that is by keeping your mind clear, so that no matter what's happening out there, you can respond in the correct way.
I'm curious to know, when you do tap into the frequency, as you put it, when you ride with the waves, you become the waves. How do you balance riding the waves and not letting the external distractions steer your mind? How do you balance that between realizing that others may be struggling and feeling the need to help others that may not be experiencing the same reality that you are?
Yeah, so if you're saying if you've attained some sort of ability to navigate this in a way that brings you peace, how do you reconcile the fact that other people in the world are suffering in different ways? That's a great question. When you reach that point where you have harmony, there's nothing left. When you have complete harmony and pure awareness, there's nothing left to do for yourself. You have to take care of your body and feed yourself and do the things you need to survive in life. But as far as things that serve yourself, there's nothing left to attain. And so the only thing left to do is help other people. And you can help them by trying to help them understand this path that got you there. And in Zen, and in Buddhism, we call those people bodhisattvas. They've just dedicated their lives to helping other people and immersing themselves in the suffering that's going on around them to try and help. So it's really a huge sacrifice, because you will be subjected to all of the waves that are going on around, and even the bad ones. But it's all about using your inner strength and inner peace and inner calmness to navigate even the roughest waters and help other people. Any other follow-up on that? I have a question in the chat. I'm just going to read it out so everybody can hear it. Some teachers tell us that we don't have to clear our minds because it creates tension. I don't understand. What are your thoughts about that advice? I think that's I want to answer this question with a bit of nuance, because if you become attached to clearing your mind, that can create tension. So the idea is to do these things to clear your mind and create a routine of clearing your mind without becoming too attached to the goal of having a clear mind. Because all of the waves from the universe and the world and all of the, this is a metaphor, of course, but all of that is going to still hit you and wash over you, and that is going to create thoughts. But the idea is if you're constantly clearing out your mind, then you'll constantly clear out those thoughts out of your mind and give each moment the attention and focus it deserves, and the right amount of action for each moment. And I think that's probably when people say, don't try to clear your mind, it's a balance, because things are always coming in, but you want to just keep everything passing through and allowing things to come and reacting appropriately in each moment. And it's more about the attachment to the things. It's like if something happens that's bad, do I hold on to that and get angry inside, and then when someone who's trying to help me, I'm still angry, and then I get angry at them? Something like that can happen very easily. No, in that moment, if something makes you angry, you're angry, but then let it go and don't carry that into the next moment. And so you will have thoughts. It's not like they never come back. They're always, as long as you have a body and a brain, you're going to have thoughts. But it's all about having a practice that clears it out. That's why I don't think sitting meditation is enough, because eventually you have to get up and do things. So you have to learn how to turn everything you do into a meditation. And that requires, interacting with things, thoughts coming in, but you want to have your mind as a base level of clear, so that the thoughts that you have are also clear and not a result of attachment to things you want in the future, things that happened to you in the past, just the perfect action for each moment. Well, Kurt, I hope I answered your question in the chat here. Let me know if you have any follow-ups. I think there's a little delay on the chat. In the meantime, does anybody else have any more questions or maybe a follow-up to what I just said?
I thought that was great, that the way you put that, because when I always thought of meditation, I always thought of sitting down and meditating, or maybe standing up and meditating, but to put it as you could be dancing, you could be biking, and doing other activities as forms of meditation, that was very eye-opening to me.
Yeah, and that is one of the most important things I learned from my own teacher that I had never heard before when I was reading books about meditation and things like that. And it was always difficult for me to understand what they were talking about, because when I'd sit and meditate, I would feel okay or pretty good, and then when I would get up and do things, everything would just come back. So it's more about learning how to turn everything into a meditation, and that's how you can always keep your mind clear. And it sounds very easy to say something like that, but it's actually, one of the most difficult things you can do. So it takes practice, and it's not something that you just snap your fingers and it happens. It's something, like I suggested, you can practice it. You start with activities that you enjoy doing, that help you clear your mind, something that requires your concentration. And then that makes it a little easier to kind of force you into that flow state. And then when you're doing, you can try to apply that same level of focus to something like doing your dishes, that maybe that's an activity where your mind might be more likely to wander, because it's so second nature. But my teacher taught me that actually through martial arts. And so that was how I kind of absorbed all of these lessons. He was a Zen master and a martial arts master. So, and when I made that connection, it totally changed the way my approach to meditation was, and it made the process much easier for me to understand and to follow, and it felt like it was creating better results. But I'm glad you found that helpful too. That's honestly one of the main reasons I'm starting this school, is to help teach people that. And that's why I called it the Zen Art Center, because I'm trying to have people use different art forms to learn how to meditate. So I have a writing class here, which you attended, and an art class. They're just groups where we meditate a little bit and then try to use the activity as a meditation. Yeah, and we're definitely have plans to have some other people doing some things, and some dance classes, things like that. I won't be teaching those, but it's just I'm trying to widen the community and get people using all of these different aspects and approaches to Zen. Any more questions? Well, I will just make a few announcements. Just want to make sure the chat is a little behind there. I'm getting a few comments, but I think they're just... So as I said, this class is on the third Thursday of the month, 7 to 8 p.m. I have a guided meditation where it's not a talk by me, it's just going through different types of meditation techniques. I am guiding you through it and talking a little bit about how to use meditation in your life, but we're also doing a bunch of different meditation techniques, and that is on the first Thursday of every month from 7 to 8. So next month, that'll be February 6th. This Sunday, actually, Nadia will be hosting a New Year's resolution workshop through Empower and Flow, which is her little spin-off of what I'm doing, and her own personal touch to it. That's Sunday at 11. I'll let you give a little summary once I finish these announcements. I'm also hosting the art and writing groups once a month. They're just groups where we get together and write or make art and use that as a meditation. And I also teach a little bit of meditation in the beginning and show how you can use that as a source of inspiration. The art group is on the fourth Saturday of the month. It'll be January 25th from 3:30 to 5. And the writing group will be, it's always the second Sunday of the month, so it'll be February 9th on Sunday from 3:30 to 5. You don't need any prior experience to participate in any of these classes or groups. And definitely, you can find them on our website or our meetup page, and sign up for our email list if you'd like to stay informed about everything we have going on around here. In closing, I rely solely on donations to continue to offer these classes. We operate as a nonprofit under the Mind Way School of Zen, and if you can afford to make a donation, we have a little jar and my Venmo information in the back. And I appreciate you coming out.